Next question.
Good evening, everyone. Like the previous months.
Your name and your address.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Luc Pigeon, 16876 Hymas.
Thank you.
And like the previous month, I'd like to submit for the town clerk a new USB with even better documents and videos concerning the environment. Is it possible to submit it, to give it to somebody?
Yeah, right here.
Okay. I won't talk this time because I got shit done. There we go. There you go. Make sure it's for the environment and the budget of the utility council for the.
Now, you did send it to every councilor, by the way, except for the USB. That email, everybody received it.
I haven't requested it, it's been amended.
Yes, I saw your email concerning your amendment also.
Well,
Concerning the anti-Ganesh.
Anti-Ganesh, Nova Scotia.
Okay, go ahead. Alex,
Amended, it's the second amendment, actually. Okay, here I go. I hope Mike doesn't get angry because that's like my long debate.
It's not too long. Go ahead.
It's not very long. We have been played for suckers for decades by greedy people who have no humanity. Their only interest is power and money. I'm disappointed with this town council that doesn't seem to care that those people will have completely destroyed our life support system by 2050. It's on the USB. That we can still make 1.5 degrees C is deceptively false. It's BS. Limiting to 1.5 degrees C is now impossible, and only immediate global emissions decline can possibly prevent a warming of 2 degrees C by 2050. That's catastrophic. You will probably all die of old age like me, leaving our children to bear the brunt of climate change. However, it doesn't have to be that way. You can do like the municipality we just mentioned, the town of Antigonish, Nova Scotia, and it wants to be the first community in Canada to reach net zero emissions. That's my preamble. Here's my question. It's short and sweet. What's stopping you, the Council of Kirkland, from establishing the means to become one of the first municipalities in Quebec to reach net zero emissions? What's stopping you? That's my question.
Okay, first of all, I read the article that you sent us on anti-Ganesh, green, including net zero carbon emission. I don't know if you knew it, but the anti-Ganesh electric utility, they got their own electric utility company. You got, that's very, very rare. And then you knew also they get their power from, they got their own wind farm. You knew that also?
Well, I also know that Agro-Quebec supplies electricity that's carbon-free.
But this city is quite particular. If they're the first one to do, that's great. But there's a little mention from Lori Boucher, that she's the mayor. She says, I cannot pinpoint an exact time frame for reaching the 100% renewable energy goal. But she says, I do believe that it will happen. So it's a positive effect, but it will be long after I'm here. So she's optimistic, and we're optimistic also ourselves, and you knew, and I explained clearly that we're working on our own sustainable plan. And when it's ready, we'll show you and we'll tell you exactly what we'll be doing. But for now, we're acting as a good environment municipality. And we've got the step that I mentioned many times to you. So yes, our goal would be to be the first one in Quebec. That would be the ideal situation.
Bravo.
That's the only thing I can say,
Bravo.
Mr. Pigeon.
So have you worked on getting the means to
And that's what I told you.
achieve net zero emissions as soon as possible?
We're working on our plan, our future sustainable development plan. And as soon as we get objective, we figure out our objective, you'll know, like the rest of our population will know.
Can you be more specific, Mr. Mayor? Reaching net zero emissions if
We
possible?
don't have goals yet, and we have to establish goals based on what the government of Quebec will set forth. So will be all funneled to our municipality. But when the time will come, You'll be the first one.
We don't have time anymore. You have to do it now. That's what the
Cannot do it tomorrow, but we'll be doing it.
Well, next month, I hope it's done by the next meeting, because I'll come back and come back.
Unfortunately, you're dreaming in color.
Well, no, I'm dreaming to have civilization survive, sir. Thank you.
Merci, Monsieur Pigeon. Yeah. Okay.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Francis, Preview Sauvignon, number 14. Hello. Just a quick follow-up question to what Mr. Pigeon was bringing up regarding the climate emergency. Just a quick question. Has the... Oh. Sorry, I've not been here in a while. Missed that. Was just a question of, has Kirkland actually declared a climate emergency for the city? I'm not aware whether I've seen that in our climate plan.
Climate emergency?
Yeah, it's a common tactic involved by cities doing that. The province of Quebec did it in 2019 at the National Assembly, just as a communication strategy in general to signify that it's being taken seriously, and often it can unlock funding, whether it be federally or provincially, to help implement
That's
initiatives.
really a broad question, but we've got a plan where it comes to any problems that comes with, let's say, remember the ice storm. You know, that was one where our plan, a security plan, came into effect, where councillor, police, administration were all ready to cope. We had cards set aside. We still have those cards that were put in the gymnasium. So the people had to sleep there and all that. We've got a general plan when it comes to natural disaster. There's none concerning a climate situation. Could be flooding, but there's no flooding here. Could be a disaster from a truck that spilled oil and explode on the 40. We're prepared for that. But not in the case of climate warming, and that's why we're preparing our own plan, like I was saying, that's in the making, and eventually we'll present it to our population. Shortly, I know Alexandre in our department is working on it.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Okay, and that's the only thing I can tell you at this present time.
Honestly, yeah, no, thank you for that. Honestly, it would be a suggestion for the climate plan to say that the city, I don't know if this is something that the Agglomeration Council would have to agree on as a whole. I'm not sure whether Montreal has taken the step to declare that, but it's just a formal legislative step almost, whether it would be here as a bylaw to say that the city of Kirkland acknowledges the severity of the climate crisis, and in fact, like I said, in many other municipalities across North America or across the globe, that can in fact unlock accessibility to federal or provincial funds, in the case of Canada, let's say, that could help advance the plan that you guys are going to be proposing. And I know you're well on the way towards adding things there and presenting something.
I'll give you another example. Look at COVID. COVID, we had a plan with the city of Montreal where our directors were in tune with what the public security was doing there. We had some funding coming from them, and we were advised on a regular basis. I would say their meeting were almost daily. So yes, there's a plan in place for disaster with that. And the same thing will happen if the government or the provincial government come up with their plan, with their objective on reducing the gaz à effet de serre, and ainsi de suite. Then we'll participate automatically because we're part of the island.
Okay, so if Quebec as a province had declared this in 2019, by extension, this means you are doing this in some way. Like, it's not a disaster relief situation, but again, not to drag this on, I'm happy to send more information after the fact if that would be helpful.
Yeah.
We've had this question.
Microphone.
Would you like to put on a microphone?
Yeah, there you go.
So we've had this question asked over and over, and I just want to make sure that no one leaves here thinking that we're waiting for a plan before we take
We're
action.
doing our own.
No, I understand
But I just want to make that absolutely clear. We've been working on environmental issues for years. We started with water. We've been changing over our fleet all to electric. We're finding different ways of upgrading our heating systems in our buildings to reduce the carbon footprint. but we never finalized it as a plan. That's coming, as Mr.
Exactly.
Mayor's been saying on different occasions, but we're already taking action, even before an actual statement of intention comes out in the form of a plan. So be assured that we're taking this seriously.
Yeah, no, I've seen that. I know that you had a 2016 to 2020 or 2021 plan, and that a new plan will be coming out. It was none of a comment on that. I know that the city is taking a lot of initiatives on this front. It was just about some additional legislative steps that can be taken to access things to further accelerate that. But like I said, thank you for your time on that and for taking the time to answer that. Like I said, if anyone's interested in more information, I'm happy to share specifically what that tactic means.
You can
But if
forward,
not, I'll look for the 22 plan.
you can forward it to me, Lindsay, and I've taken note of your comment.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much for everyone's time.
Okay, Lindsay, thank you.
Hello again. Following the young lady's intervention on climate emergency, if my memory serves me correctly, most or some of the West Isle municipality have signed the climate emergency. It's a huge document in color. I was at the Montreal Metropolitan Community when they adopted it, and automatically, because Valerie Plante is mayor of Montreal, it became also Montreal emergency. I don't know, are you aware that you're probably
I'm quite aware.
You could be the only municipality in the West Island that didn't sign the climate emergency. It's like a contract too,
Monsieur
eh?
Pigeon, l'agglomération, on en fait partie, qu'on l'a signé. Merci.
Well, okay,
Okay.
if you see it that way.
Merci, Monsieur Pigeon.